First, I'll like slam my book down, like so it looks
see the
really
shadow
cool.
Boxes.
Hell yeah! Yo, what up, peeps?
Oh God.
Gonna do the sketchbook tour because that's the cool thing. First off, this book took 6 months to do.
Sorry, how old are you?
25.
Your mom, LOL.
As a reward, you get my ass.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold up. Should I swear?
Yeah, you can swear. I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Yeah.
YouTube algorithm, don't.
Yeah, the algorithm.
Don't fuck me over.
The algorithm. Oh, shit, we're fucked. No views. As if the YouTube art education community gets any views in the first place,
That's
you know.
fair.
All right. And I have looked through this book before, but I'm going to do it on camera now. And actually, when I first looked through it prior, a lot of things kind of dawned on me. A lot of interesting things, and mostly horrifying things, though, dawning on me, of particularly how I approached studying and how I approached drawing and the practice of drawing. And I have another video that I talk about these things in detail, but we'll just kind of go with the flow for this one and discuss them as they come up.
So like, how old are you?
I'm 25.
So your mom jokes are still relevant.
It's still cool, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and remember, the demographic of YouTube are 12-year-olds.
Okay.
They
good.
love this shit.
You're
they
good.
love this shit.
Oh, kill me. No, thank you.
Hold up, I just about broke YouTube. All right. Okay. Cool. And I told Brittany here, who's helping out, that we can swear, even though it's gonna break our algorithm. Never make it to the trending pages.
You know, like how we said the first time was so much better.
What did we say the first time?
It was just better.
Can I swear?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
You have all the footage on your camera, and I'm sure the audio on your camera is horrible.
Yeah. All right. PewDiePie, you're next. All right. Weird thing about the Moleskine books is that they have this thing at the beginning where like you offer a reward if someone finds your book that you lost. Like, has anyone actually gotten their book back? If you have,
better question: has anyone lost their book?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you lose your sketchbooks?
Yeah. No, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If so, are you a real artist?
Yeah.
Are you a real artist if you lose your sketchbook?
These are the questions. Let's take a flip through the life of a real artist, shall we? There you go. First page is blank.
Is that like an emotional statement?
This is a statement. The life of a real artist is that you have to remain a blank slate, all right?
Or you just like skipped a page.
Or I skipped the page because it's stuck weird.
Okay. But probably a metaphor. It's probably a metaphor.
Yeah. This one, yeah. Anyway, I have a date here later on, I think. Where is it?
Oh,
Skipping ahead.
It's my drawings.
Which one?
Look, it's my drawings.
Yeah, I tried to take credit for them, but you're not supposed to admit that. I think it started this January 4th, and it went till almost exactly 6 months, like June 4th, if that's 6 months. Yeah, almost exactly 6 months. But you can see this is how I was drawing a bit before that, kind of using like broadside of my pencil, and I do a lot of
super like gestural.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I try and keep it loosey goosey, you know. But
don't ever say that again.
Okay. And I think I was just drawing cafe for this one. This was when I was just finishing like Sean Yang's mentorship class. So one thing he said to me is like, that was really good feedback, is like you just kind of doodle randomly. You should like dedicate a page to doing like one thing. Okay. Like have a concept, like sit down with a goal. Don't just draw whatever you feel like.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Be a lot more goal oriented.
Goal oriented, yeah, which is something I feel like most people don't do with their sketchbooks, which is fine because you want to just doodle, but you don't want to trick yourself into thinking that doodling is going to make you better. Because honestly, I don't think it does. All right.
Okay.
And then you'll see me lose this philosophy very, very soon.
Blow your nose.
All right. We should have we should have a cat cameo later. Have John walking through. Yeah, loose page. Cool. What is this? Yeah. This is like my you'll see a lot of this because I like doing like I like drawing people in profile for some reason. I just think it's like people have much more interesting silhouettes in profile than like a front on pose. I don't know.
Stop sniffling. You can't sniffle.
Cool.
It'll sound really bad.
Okay.
You'll regret it.
So have I talked about everything? Yeah, the point of this book, like I said before, is to kind of go through this book because I'm always interested in seeing other people's like sketchbooks. And even like when you showed me your old sketchbooks, I was like fascinated seeing like your old
12-year-old me.
Yeah, character designs. That's our next video is Brittany's sketchbook.
Oh god.
Awesome character designs and anime costumes.
They've all been destroyed. They're gone forever.
What a shame.
You know what? 12-year-old me is a great artist.
Mm-hmm,
Okay? Like, good shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Not at all.
It wasn't too bad. But one thing that's, it's worth it looking back on your own work because you want to see like how you progress. And you want to see how you progress in sequence.
What if you completely degressed though?
That's okay. Yeah, if you've like regressed, then you want to know why you regressed. That typically won't happen if you're drawing more or less every day, I think.
Right.
Right? I don't know. But yeah, and we'll talk about some of the there's some big things some big pieces of advice that honestly I would impart onto someone else as far as how they should go and approach drawing, and we'll get to those points as we come by them. But like I said, my other video, which I'm working very, very hard to produce right now, will be done very soon. It'll be up. My very other awesome, very cool video. I'll have all those points summarized in a neatly organized kind of video essay, doc style-esque format. So check that out. Link in description, merch link in bio. God, church!
How relevant is Jake Paul?
This is pretty relevant, man.
That's my question.
Please don't spin that fidget spinner.
Feedback noise.
Please don't spin that fidget spinner. This is like really I try to do less of this even though it's really good. It's just a page of gestures just to take up a page, but I really like doing gestures because you loosen up and you feel like you got to get in the habit of like sometimes not caring when you're drawing, even though you should be always caring when you're drawing, even though I contradict myself like a million times.
It's like a really good base to start at though, right?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Gesture drawing is a really good place to start. Thoughts on figure drawing, Brittany? Gesture drawing, 30-second gestures. No, yeah, exactly. There's nothing interesting to look at, right? But I think it's good to do, one, to loosen up, and two, to kind of, understand, to detach yourself from your art sometimes. And you need to know when those moments are important. And that's on you. What is this? Damn it.
I'm feeling like space vibes here.
Space. Yeah.
What's that kid's name from Treasure Planet? That's
Oh, what's his name?
It's something like super mundane.
Yeah. Like John.
No,
like Dan.
Jim.
Yeah, it was Jim.
Was it Jim?
Jim, yeah.
I'm smart.
Yeah, it was Jim. Nice. Cool. Yeah, some more like people. And I try to take some notes, but it doesn't really happen too much. It's mostly an agenda. It's not really notes on my art. It's just like an agenda for what I should be doing that day. Here's a list of anime I want to check out. ReZero, Sound Euphonium, Mob Psycho. Great show.
Anime is garbage.
Yeah, I hate anime. Fuck that shit. If you draw anime, like, leave right now. Leave right now. Right? Like, hold Alt and press F4, and then go into your system directory and delete System 32, okay? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. I love anime.
Anime's great.
It's good. More figures here.
Buddha, yeah.
Deadass. And tried to do a page of just facial expressions. I think this was off of Pinterest too, because they have like this is you can only really tell in this picture who this is.
Is it Emma Watson?
Yeah. But actually, all of these are Emma Watson, because sometimes they get like A-list actors to do like these like facial expression guides, and it's like an entire sheet of just them doing different faces. Yeah, and it's all out there. It's all on Pinterest. So if you look for it,
I feel like you find a lot of your refs on Pinterest.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Pinterest is awesome, dude. Yeah, dude, get on Pinterest.
Like, honestly, I like thought it was just for moms and like expecting mothers.
Yeah, man, it's just me and Brittany's mom on Pinterest right now, man. I don't know what the hell everyone else is doing. Come on, get on our level. And but so far I'm only using pencil, and this will change later. And I kind of regret only using pencil for so long, because I have a few big things to say about switching mediums when we get there. But by the most part, I'm still really chicken scratchy, as you can see with my lines.
But I think that just comes with like sketching with pencils too, right?
Yeah, maybe.
You don't have to be careful.
Yeah. But also, you look at a lot of the anime artists, or even like kids in like Artist Alley, and their line work, their characters, even though are much more simple, their line work is like also much more immaculate, because
it's a lot cleaner.
Yeah, and that's just the thing, because they're aspiring to do like anime art, which is all about lines and flat colors. So they want it.
Feel.
Yeah, exactly. They want it to hold together. It's the lines that hold it together, not the shapes or the values or the forms, right? And that's just anime art, and that's just what their goals are. Boring. Faces. Yeah, and I tend to notice that like you can get way more interesting like facial features when you're drawing with like a fatter pencil, like not a mechanical pencil, like one of these guys, just because you're using broader strokes, so you can get in there and kind of start chiseling into facial features. Whereas if you're just drawing with a mechanical pencil, like I think unconsciously the idea of like say contouring someone's face with a really fine line is just it turns you away, so you don't do it.
The graphite isn't as soft either, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you wanna really soft, like lead grade, like a 4B or something, 2B near automata.
I was waiting for you to make that
reference. Yo, 2Bs, man, 2Bs. Okay, here's another one. It's my boy Baruto. Cool. What's the deal with this kid?
I don't know, but I would totally have sex with it.
You totally have sex with it? What if I told you that was a girl?
I mean, like, I'd still have sex
with it. Alright, cool. What would you have sex with this kid?
No.
Okay. I'd totally do this kid.
Would you?
Yeah, man, this hairstyle is so unique.
Dude, so that's what it's about?
Hell yeah, it's about the hair. Somebody do this hair and send me a photo. I'll send you a dick pic. Just kidding. Algorithm. Like profile heads and profile, like really hard for me to do for some reason, but I keep doing them just because I know I need to get better. And I think one of the reasons why is because like if you think about think about your mom, you're probably thinking about your mom. You probably think about her face in portrait view, like flat on, looking at her like this, right?
Yeah.
Right, and you don't really think about anyone by their profile view, and so I think that's one counterintuitive thing with drawing, capturing the likeness in a profile view. Well, like
facial recognition too normally encompasses like all the features.
Right. Yeah, point. Good point. What we got over here? I think these are like poses from Imagination. So cool. And this is a pretty standard way of how I think they call it like mannequinizing the figure, like turning it into a mannequin.
Yeah, like blocks.
Turning into a block man. And everyone has like a different way of drawing their block man for their anatomy and for their posing. And this is just kind of how I do it, just like fat rib cage, Just the pelvis is just essentially a 3D underwear.
Yeah.
A giant like 3D pair of underwear, and I just go from there. But that's it's kind of working, and I'm trying to learn more anatomy, so maybe that'll change. And this one's from class.
Sorry, is this a Homestuck?
Portrait of classmate, Homestuck fan art.
My Homestuck OC.
Just kidding, I'm not Homestuck. You're ridiculous. What else we got here? So this was cool because in class, my teacher, they got us to draw with like a really fat tip, like paintbrushes, and then they got us to draw with really thin lines, and only like these little Pentel colored markers. And then he got us to do like concepts of good and evil with a fat one, and and the opposite with a thin one.
Oh,
it's just to see like what, like which medium speaks to which emotions or feelings. Yeah. And honestly, it's like, I feel like, so I tried to do the opposite. I tried to do, this was like good, right? Like, and I tried to do it with a fat marker, and something evil, tried to do evil with a thin marker, where I think intuitively I would think it's the opposite.
I think either or works.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Like if you think about like a really evil painting, do you think about like big, broad strokes? Or do you think about fine lines and...
I think there's like too much art out there for it to be like specific to lines.
Yeah. Good point. So anyway, maybe that was the conclusion I should have reached, is that it's just it's different for everyone.
Art is subjective.
I know. What else we got here? This is a page of
I think you need to be more choosy with what you explain.
Thumbnails. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna start skipping through it here. Thumbnails for class, really rough, assignment, blah blah. Ew. Heads.
Like, unless there's like key things.
Yeah.
This looks like Girafim from Skyward Sword.
Oh, Girafim. No idea who that is. Cool. Yeah. Doing heads. This guy's got a cool beard. I don't care. This guy's got a cool beard.
Let's skip these.
I'll just like flash it really quick. Another page. Some more thumbnails. I kind of just use this book as like my everything book in class. Like I'd write like phone numbers down, all the girls' phone numbers, every girl's phone numbers down.
Yeah.
It's full of phone numbers,
Are you gonna leave me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got so many numbers.
At least I know ahead of the time, like, emotionally prepared.
Yeah.
Prepare the cats for you not visiting them anymore.
Great. I'll miss the cats. I write like dates for assignments. I write notes. I write just like my schedule. It's like an agenda. It's like an everything book anyway. But it's just easier for me. More thumbnails. What's going on here? Characters. Anything interesting on this page?
No.
I really like designing people from the profile view. I think I like it just as much as starting from a just a front on view. I don't know. It's just really interesting to me. And this is one of the things that like you'll see a lot in my book. It's this like profile view guy, but also this like really kind of organic, really contoury armor that I like to do.
It's supper time.
It's supper. Okay.
We're getting yelled at.
Okay. Thumbnails, taking a lot of notes. Oh, we did this paper. Oops. Yeah, I'm pretty chicken scratchy when I do thumbnails. I think I like to look for like happy accidents. That's why I keep it like so loose. Like just if there's a city in the back, just kind of just scribble something in. You might see something interesting as far as like architecture or some compositional or storytelling thing that might not exactly be deliberate for you, even though I say the exact opposite, that things should be deliberate. But anyway, there's a book called Chaos Imperative that just talks about why you should make room for serendipity in your design, and it's a pretty good book. Here we got more gestures. More the same. I think these were all from imagination, because you see me doing the same type of, mannequinizing again, right? So if you can basically see like a rib cage in some of the figures, then you can probably guess it's me trying to draw from imagination. And then I'm not a designer. Shout out to Calgary Barbell. They never used any. Damn you, Dylan. Break my heart. Fuck you, Dylan. I think this is when the Power Rangers movie came out. Some of the concepts for the.
It just looks like Genji.
Yeah.
Like not even just Genji.
That's basically what their armor is, right?
Genji's a Power Ranger.
They're basically.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, and then I was like, hell yeah, I can do better, and try to design better. I couldn't do it. Lied to myself.
So is Genji a better design of Power Rangers then?
Genji is a better Power Ranger.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
But not necessarily a better design.
Maybe not. I think it's design. Well, his design is like all of the Overwatch designs are them trying to make homage to some other thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Genji is probably like Metal Gear Solid, like the cyborg ninja from like Raiden, and probably like old school Power Rangers too. Okay. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, just like how like McCree is basically like Clint Eastwood and
gross.
And Junkrat is like is just Mad Max and shit. Anyway, Overwatch is cool. Never played it, but it's cool.
Probably never will.
Never will, but it's cool. What's going on? Skip. Ouch. Skip.
We still have so much to get through.
Ouch. This stuff we can skip. Okay, let's look at Nathan's drawings. Cool. Nathan and Gabe. This is going on. Another page of faces. Anything to say about this, Brittany?
It's a lot of faces.
Yeah, but it's still not enough.
It's like the Iron Throne, but with faces.
Oh, this is the Arya's like face gallery. More of this bullshit. I really do prefer drawing like in a sketchbook like this, like drawing like landscape with the book long ways. I just feel like I have more like elbow room to do it. I don't know. Just might be, but the only drawback is that it's like total bitch to flip through, especially when you're like looking over your own stuff, or you're getting a friend to look over your stuff, because they're constantly like what, hey what, and then they're going the wrong way, and just go to hell. They just hate you. Yeah, what's going on? Some undersea people. I think this might have been for an assignment. Oh well. Some doodles. You can see I'm not really being deliberate with anything I'm drawing, though. That's the problem, right? It's just me drawing whatever I feel like doing.
Yeah. It's like a lot of gestural stuff.
Yeah, just because it's loose and it feels cool to do, and it's fun.
But does that help you grow?
Yeah, does it help me get better at anything other than gestures? And like,
And are gestures really a thing you want to be good at?
Yeah, but it's not what sells a piece.
Okay.
I don't think it's ever like the concept of like a finished drawing is like, wow, that's a great gesture. I want that. It's like part of like the finished piece, but it's not like the main thing of the finished piece.
Commission gestures.
Yeah, commission. You want some 30-second gestures. Oh man. Hit me up on DeviantArt. My 30-second gestures. This was a bit more deliberate because this is I don't know if you recognize these. Do you recognize this?
Looks like Peter Baelish. This one right here.
Oh, Peter Baelish.
That's not what he sounds like.
Peter Baelish.
Like, not at all.
Peter Baelish.
But, like, good efforts.
So I was copying. Well, you actually don't very inconsequential what all this is from, but this is from
Is it Pirates?
No, it's Kingsglaive.
What?
Yeah, I was just I just
okay, well, I guess, like, this one.
Yeah.
But, like, the rest of them, not at all.
I just kept... Yeah, no, these are just, like, the random characters. I just kept freezing it. I just kept, like, pausing the movie and just taking a frame and then just, like, drawing a dude, and I'd play and pause.
So did you really enjoy the movie, then?
Draw a dude. I only got through maybe, like, 10 minutes doing this, but the movie, not really.
Wow.
Good fights.
Wow, fuck you.
Good fights, though.
I mean, in terms of Final Fantasy films, that was probably, like, an A+.
Yeah. Ouch. You know you can get his, like, thing in the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know I hate that game.
Oh, okay. But you can get, like, the
like
mullet boys. Shit. Yeah, his...
Mullet boy?
Mullet boys. Knives.
You know, 15 just had such potential.
I know.
It's still better.
It's so sad.
So bitter.
So sad. Yeah.
But, like...
Comment below how you would...
Let's talk about
let's talk about... Dragoons.
No, Aranea.
She's a dragoon.
Yeah, but, like, just Aranea specifically is what I want to talk about.
Okay, tell me about Aranea.
I mean, like, just look at her.
Okay.
That, like, tells you enough.
Enough said.
Yeah.
This is, like, when we started our 7 Sins project, which was probably one of our best assignments. Just because they were like, do whatever you want, as long as it crosses media.
That's where you made, like, the orgy tower.
Yeah,
right?
it's made the orgy tower, yeah.
My mom saw that, and she was like, so James made, like, a sex art, and, like, I want to support him and like it, but is it appropriate for me to like it?
Well, here's the one of the first ideas for it is, like, it's just a giant, this guy has, like, a giant, like, robes, and it's meant to look like, you know, a vagina with the clit, and...
That's what vaginas look like?
Duh.
Oh, okay. Thanks for filling me in, man. I really, like, appreciate it.
Yeah, so I really tried to, like even this weird headpiece thing, tried to make it look like...
You tried to make a sex thing?
Tried to make a sex art.
The sex art.
But it was really fun, really challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to make it, like, 3D, whereas my group members just tried to make it print, and at the end, we just... printed off a PDF and we're like, yeah, it's a book. we combine digital and print.
I mean, art school is like IB, right? It's like, how do you bullshit and get away with it?
Yeah, exactly. With the other classes, some of the other assignments were, like, beautiful. They made, like, board games. One assignment, one group tried to make a dating sim.
So why did your team suck?
Because we were like, we don't care about the assignment. Because it was like me
Okay.
and Evan and Gabe were just like, who cares about the assignment? Let's just draw what we want. And the end, we'll, like, just, like, cop out.
That's fair.
Because we're never going to use...
Well, then you got, like, what you wanted out of it,
Yeah,
right?
because, yeah.
Which is probably more beneficial
definitely
than
more
creating a
valuable.
board game.
Yeah, like, because you can't put that in your portfolio.
No.
It's really hard to put, like... And then another class did, like, lino cuts and,
Jesus.
and, like, prints. They combined that with, like, printmaking, and it's like, this is
so much work.
This is so tough to put in your portfolio, right? Because it's unfocused. It just it walks away from everything else you've
like,
worked for.
Also, how much time are you spending on that?
Exactly.
Right? Like, what
man.
could you be doing in the meantime that's more
yes,
progressive?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
No.
I like this girl. She's like gun girl.
I like Hot Boy with Fire.
Ooh, hot. Ooh, no, he's got
a switchblade.
Switchblade.
Oh, okay.
No, I think this is when we saw. What was that movie?
I don't know.
What was that movie? No, that was all first person.
Oh, right. The
What's it
one where you're
called?
like, this
Hardcore.
is a video game.
Yeah, Hardcore
Henry.
Yeah. That was that guy.
And you're like,
Yeah.
here's the mini boss.
Yeah, he's totally just like a Metal Gear Solid bad guy.
It was a good film, though.
That was fun, yeah.
It was really lighthearted.
Yeah.
If you want to watch a bunch
Yeah.
of people get murdered.
Yeah.
Lighthearted.
Lighthearted. Now on Netflix. Ba-dum. Cool, we're halfway through.
Is this a vagina also?
No, this was
Oh, it's like a stingray.
Can you guess the greed though? I mean, damn it.
Oh shit! I was gonna be like, what seven deadly sin is it? How is that greed? Please explain to me.
Well, it was just gonna be.
I thought not manatees, sorry. I thought stingrays were lovely creatures.
Yeah, they are. They're beautiful.
Have you seen one?
No, I haven't.
Fuck you. What do you know about stingrays?
Well, I think it's either greed or envy. Just the idea of always looking at other people.
Oh, they're like eyeballs.
Eyeballs, yeah, and just very grabby, just like want thing. And this is where
it's like your Gollum voice.
Want thing. This is where the kind of sex totem kind of started.
your sex
I'm like,
thing.
what if other people were all around the main dude, and it was just like a giant totem orgy?
Totem orgy. Can I quote you on that?
Yeah. Cool, we're like halfway through, hon. Let's read some of my notes here. Tyler Jacobson blog. I think this is where I discovered Tyler Jacobson. Awesome. Tommy Arnold. Awesome illustrator. Tommy Arnold Insta. Tommy Arnold's AMA. Fangs Use Design Cinema. One Fantastic Week blog. This kind of stuff I write down. Reminders. They're not notes or thoughts. They're just reminders. And that's the wrong way to do notes for this stuff. I mean, if anything, this is as, usually a little blurb here and here. That's as good as it gets for my notes. But you have to really look at, like, Da Vinci's notebook and his sketchbooks to really be shown what it means to have someone try to really understand something. This isn't it. This is just reminders. I'm really trying to work on that for my my sketchbook that I'm doing right now. This was kind of interesting. The idea. I think the most interesting thing in this book. It's kind of sad. Again, I'm stricken. Most interesting stuff in this book is this one design assignment that I tried to carry out. Just because I iterated it on so much and I stuck with it so much, and I don't think there's any one other thing in this book that I even stuck with or tried to iterate on nearly as much as this 7 Sins assignment. This is cool though, this sarcophagus guy. I don't know what sin that is. This was cool. I like this pose. I think that was like Pride or something. This is just a cool new hairstyle I'm working on. And this was, I don't know, I think it was meant to be like Pride? Greed? All right, more phallic imagery. Here we go. Don't know if I have much to say about that. This is cool. This is like that weird irrational fear, trypophobia. I think I wrote that here with all the fear of just patterned holes. Interesting. I like these faces. I think some of these faces are from imagination. I think. If that's the case, I'm going to be kind of impressed. Because I think they look kind of decent.
Is this me?
No, that's not you.
Oh.
I think some of these are...
Is this you?
Good amount. Yeah, I think that was definitely looking at me. Oh, face cam reveal. Oh.
Your eyes look like more Asian than they actually are.
Dang. Thank you. This is kind of cool, this robo dude. What's he doing?
What are any of us doing?
Yeah,
though?
true. And you see I changed mediums again. I'm switching back to pencil, and I felt like I switched back to like not mechanical pencil. I think just the...
Is this Cora?
No, I don't know what that is. I'm trying to understand the pelvis. Whatever. Going backwards. Which way we go? Wait. Okay, we're going the right way. More thumbs. More heads. More thumbs.
Which girls?
This guy's cool. This is my dude.
What the fuck?
This is my dude.
Is this Aang?
No, it's just some bald kid.
So it's Aang.
Yeah. Every kid. Let's see. Colors stay popping.
No.
Oh, look. My first
The only
mandatory
real art in
mandatory
this book.
Nier Automata fan art.
You didn't even finish the game.
Did it? No, I'm like an hour in. My computer kept dying.
You're not a real fan.
Not a real fan. Actually, there's this one artist I follow, and he does like vlogs, and people are like, hey, yeah, man, did you finish he did like this every Overwatch character ever poster.
Yeah.
And people are like, yeah, man, who's your main? He's like, oh, I don't play, man. I got no time. He's such a badass. He just says it outright. He's like, oh, man, fuck, I don't play games.
Same, though.
But the thing is, I don't think that affects his sales that much. Like, not being a real fan. People are like, oh, cool, all right. I like your art. They buy the poster anyway.
It's true.
But it's just, I don't know. I like to, like, you like to make a connection with people, right? Mm-hmm. Over what you like. You like to hope that people are doing things out of love, at least. Yeah, we're getting there, hon. Don't worry. Oops.
I just don't want to pay shipping and customs. Like, that's so cruel.
How much extra is shipping customs?
Shipping's $10 USD.
Yui.
I know. Whereas when you get it through Beautylish, there's no shipping and they pay your customs for you.
What's our exchange rate now?
I think it's still like the same.
Yo, Canada sucks, guys.
Oh, it's a fairy boy.
Fairy boy. Oh, fairy boy.
You're on the wrong.
Oh, fuck. This is gonna keep happening.
You're
just because
fired.
I do a stupid way in sketchbook. This also new hair concept. Working on it. Cool. This guy's cool. What's his story?
It's like interesting how it looks when you layer ink over top.
Yeah.
I think it provides like a lot more depth to the piece.
Yeah, actually, I don't think I even did that. I think that's Gabe.
Oh.
Oops.
Well, Gabe's good art.
Yeah, he's good. He's great. Check out this elf chick. What's up, girl? What's up, grill? If you ever draw like a really boring person and you want to make it like cool, just put some elf ears on that and you're like, oh yeah, it's fantasy.
It's true though.
Fantasy.
Like, so true. Oh look, it's all the video games
oh
you
god.
haven't played.
Yeah. I'm such a poser.
You can't draw Ruby fan art, it's illegal.
Oh, you can't stop me from drawing it. I can't sell it.
Yeah.
This was this is me during critique. This is what I normally do, and I just draw during my critiques because I don't really listen because I'll fall asleep if I don't do something.
Why are you in art school?
I don't know. I'm just trying not to fall asleep, right? Like, what's more rude? You see me at the back falling asleep, or you see me like just taking notes?
That's really true.
But this is some beautiful classmates. My beautiful teacher. This is beautiful faceless girl with robo legs. Did I go the wrong? Alright, no one cares. Elf boy.
What? That's a girl.
Put an elf ear on it. Oh yeah, that's a good girl.
She's got titties.
Put an elf ear on it. Yo, this is Genji. My Genji fan art.
Is this your art? It's not, is it?
Oh, it is. It is.
Oh wait, what?
It's
so cute.
I'm trying to draw like an anime girl. But the thing is, when I draw anime, sometimes I draw anime to like make fun of anime. Even though like I legitimately love anime. Yeah, as an influence, I love
3 a.m. crying to Naruto.
Yeah, man.
But bro, It's just so sad.
Yeah, man.
It's not. It's Naruto.
It's Naruto.
It's not sad. It's sad that it exists.
Oh.
Ooh.
Shade.
Look, it's you.
What's going on here? More faces. Who's me? Hey, this me? That me?
Probably.
Oh, that's you.
Wow.
This is like, I think that was supposed to be me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
You're really bad at self-portraits, but
Yeah.
you're so good at drawing everything else.
I just have I hold myself in very low regard, that's why.
Yeah, but like you shouldn't.
Thanks. Oh, look, this is me.
Yeah?
Definitely me.
Damn.
Definitely me. Okay, you see here, I'm switching to like a fine pen now, and it changes the way I draw slightly. I'm thinking about lines more. Like once you're switching to pen, if you double up on your strokes, it's like a lot more evident, especially when it's a bold.
It like
fine
almost
pen.
defines your style a lot better too, though.
What with pen?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like I feel like with pen, it's a lot more personal, like your style.
Oh.
Like, I feel like I'm looking at something a lot more interesting.
Really?
Does that make sense?
It just says that like it feels more me when I do pen.
Yeah, it feels more stylized.
Huh. Interesting.
And maybe it's because like your detail has to be so much more concise.
Yes.
Whereas when you work with a pencil, you get to kind of cheat.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, like pencil, I can hide behind like the fact that the stroke is way more broad, whereas I can't hide
You can't do
behind
that
that.
with pen.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good point. My boy.
Naruto.
My boy Boruto.
Naruto.
It's not. It's Boruto.
Yeah, but like the show was called Naruto. It's from Naruto. Naruto is like the encompassing description.
Yeah. This guy's cool. It's pretty cool.
If you can actually fight with it.
Yeah, good. But we don't talk about that. Who cares about functional weapons?
Duel. Blue Eyes White Dragon. Okay.
Not a spoiler.
Spoilers.
Not a spoiler. Yeah, we're almost done.
That's like a complete spoiler.
Yeah. It is.
I still can't believe that happened.
Yeah. You know. Good shot.
But maybe it'll be like Brandon Stark, and somehow Daenerys will like get through to Viserys.
Oh.
I highly doubt it though. There's like a 4%.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Maybe when he died, when Brandon Stark died, his spirit went into Viserys.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
And it's not a dragon anymore. It's Brandon Stark.
Yeah.
And like his namesake, who created the wall before him. Yeah, I don't know.
No, but can Bran, what's his name? Bran possess a dragon?
Ooh.
That's what I thought you were getting at. That's what I thought.
No, Brandon Stark was the guy who died.
Right.
That's the uncle. They share the same name.
Brendan, isn't it Brendan?
No, they're both Brandon.
Okay.
They're
Brandon,
named after Brandon,
the wall guy.
the guy who made the wall.
Right.
1,000 years ago.
Interesting.
The OG Stark. He was a Brandon.
Interesting. Good to know.
I don't know anything about Game of Thrones, so don't listen to me.
Okay. No, I trust you. You have the lore compendium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Go!
Okay, go. Okay, alright. So here is, this is where I started just kind of on a whim. This is where it gets interesting. Because right here, this is where I finished school. So kind of on a whim, I started just copying this artist, Greg Tocchini. He does this comic, Low.
Tocchini?
Tocchini. Yeah.
Tocchini.
Yep. And yeah, I just started copying his and it's very like all comic art, it's very line work dependent.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Copying that, I had to like really focus on my line work. I had to really think about like my drawing.
I'm still like so emotionally ravaged by Game of Thrones. Like I'm here with you, but like
Your soul is with
King of Thrones.
your heart is with that dragon.
But when do Dany and Jon have sex?
Ouch.
That's what I want to know.
That's what everyone wants to see.
Incest! Okay, what do we got? Edmonton Expo.
Oh yeah.
Why is she
Some
drowning?
more notes. I don't know. Oh yeah, it's from again just from the comic. I was just trying to copy poses I liked from the comic. I was just going
What
through
is this
each
pose?
issue.
Can you do a larger, like a larger mock-up of that pose?
Why? Just a little boy being like,
This one though.
That
This is
one?
the one I want to understand more.
Oh, I think he is.
He's like sideways and his knees are twisted, but he's
Yeah.
also like cool. Like
Yeah, I think he was like hurt. I think the guy got hurt and he's like clambering up a set of stairs or something.
He made it a lot less interesting.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you copy someone directly, you have to like really think about your line work. And looking at what he does, I realized just how much I was doing it wrong.
In terms of what?
In terms of really not thinking about my line work. And
Okay.
this guy,
like what do you mean?
Greg Ticini is so much more conscious of his line work.
Like in like how? Like how is he more conscious?
Well, yeah, like I did talk about this in that other video, but for me, like what I love about his work is his line weight and how rhythmic his lines are, and
So like pretend you're not an art snob. What does rhythmic? Okay, so pretend you're not an art snob. What does rhythmic mean?
Rhythmic means flow. So
Like
even
the Naruto
even a dude,
theme song.
yeah,
band.
my favorite band also. Yeah, but you know, like even
Code Geass opening too.
hell yeah.
Okay, sounds about right.
But like even like just like a dude normally standing there, something about the way he does his lines, and there's like really subtle exaggerations that make the form flow better, that make it a bit more dynamic.
Booty.
Even if it's a very static pose, is like a dude standing there.
Booty.
Ass.
Booty, booty, booty.
So does that make sense?
Yeah, I know.
That's what I say rhythm is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, and yeah, I've never really thought about doing my stuff, and you know, when you're basically copying stroke for stroke of someone else's art, you're like, wow, like I don't you sometimes you literally need like an invisible force holding your hand. Sometimes you literally need some dude holding your hand, making each stroke for you.
But no homo.
But no homo, bro. No homo, Greg.
Perfect.
No homo, Greg. We cool. We cool. Yeah. Tocini Quest. That's just all I did. I did this for a solid like 3 weeks, and afterwards I started just kind of drawing from imagination again. I noticed a noticeable difference, which means something, because in art you really don't notice a noticeable difference.
Okay.
When you progress, and that's like every artist's frustration, is like you don't notice a noticeable difference in the way you draw and the way you paint and the way you like compose, and so that's why a lot of people quit art, I think, unfortunately.
I quit art because it was too much effort.
Because what do you mean too much effort?
Like I had to wake up and do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you meant you have to wake up anyway, so you're just saying you had to do it.
Yeah.
That was too much effort. Okay,
Too much.
Oh, that
Really.
sucks.
Too much.
This guy's cool. Very flowy. Very flowy. Yeah, I like Craig Turcini's work. And here I switched to
Abs.
Epps. But also there's a pen called High Tech C. It's like the one all the cool kid industrial designers use. And it's just like basically a really, really thin ass pen.
Mm-hmm.
So I went even like further with a thin pen. And then once you draw with like a even thinner pen, this is like a 0.03 millimeter pen or some shit like that.
Okay.
Something crazy, yeah. Once you draw with the pen like that thin, you notice like even more how much chicken scratchy your lines are. So it makes your art look even worse the more you draw over your lines.
So does it make you more like conscious of the lines you're making?
Yeah. Yeah, and this kind of happened by accident just because I wanted to try out like a new pen. So when that happens, then you're like, oh my god, I have to force myself to draw even cleaner with my lines. to be even more deliberate with my lines.
Okay. But can
So
I
that's-
ask you like a really serious question?
Okay.
Why don't any of your boys have nipples? Is this an anime?
Point to me a boy.
He has no nipples.
I have the tassels here.
Okay,
Just
nipples.
conveniently covering his
Nipples are
nipples.
not there. Nipples are like here.
Oh, you got a nipple expert over here.
Yeah.
Who else doesn't have a nipple?
That's the only shirtless one.
Who else offends you? Well, it does take place in the future, right? And as you know,
we just
nipples,
remove our nipples.
No, male nipple is like a vestigial part
but
of
like
the male anatomy.
They're still a part of like. Yeah, I won't get into that.
Okay, all right. This is cool. 2 swords. Even though back-drawn swords are very impractical, I hear, apparently. I don't know. Go follow one of those medieval YouTubers who just talk about swords all day.
Like, back-drawn swords are, like, more practical, though, than, like, over the shoulder.
That's true. The Sasuke.
Yeah, Sasuke's a fake nerd.
Fake ninja boy. Sasuke.
Why are you obsessed with Genji? That's my real question.
It's not Genji. I just like
Genji.
like cyborg armor. It's just cool. It's just fun to draw.
But, like, as Genji is a cyborg, he kind of has, like, the monopoly over that.
On cyborg armor and the market right now, yeah. I do agree. I do. He dethroned Raiden.
So it's all Genji.
Basically right now. Everyone's going to be like, hey, that's Genji. Even though Raiden did it before him. Even though probably some Mortal Kombat dude did it before Raiden. Whatever.
Nah, it's just only Genji.
Okay. And, well, yeah, I'm switching again to a pencil, and that makes me focus more on flow and gesture.
But
right?
what
Now that I can't
do you
focus
need
on
to develop
stroke quality,
more, like, as an artist?
I think you need to do it all.
Which is fair, but I think, like, your personal style comes through more in, like, the ink pieces.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I respect that. That's your opinion. Thank you for your opinion.
Fuck off.
Yeah, once you do, like, pencil, though, now your strokes are more broad. Now you don't have...
The control.
Right, you don't... Yeah, and you don't have the... What is it? The luxury of worrying about your lines. So now you have to focus on...
Just say warring over your lines.
No, worrying over your...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, worrying over...
The battle of the lines.
No, dude, specifically, like, worrying over the specific tiny little strokes of your lines, because it kind of doesn't matter in this context. So now something else matters when you're drawing with, like, pencil, and that, I would say, is probably line weight for a soft grade pencil like this, and probably the rhythm and gesture. So if you want to force yourself to focus on rhythm and gesture, then another thing you can do is just switch up your medium to, like, a soft grade pencil or a crayon, or like a soft pencil crayon.
Okay.
And that'll isolate these various, like, elements of drawing for you. Not because you're thinking about it as you should be, but because just literally you'll have to fight against the medium to do otherwise.
Okay.
And that's a revelation I came up with, like, not because I wanted to, just because I kept trying new things, and I got lucky, I guess, and I started thinking about my art. And I really wish I did that on all these fucking pages back here, but I didn't.
Yo, no swearing algorithm.
Oh, algorithm, fucked. Right, so I'm really beating myself up at this point in the book, because I'm looking through this stuff. I'm like, I really don't see myself getting better at all.
But I mean, a sketchbook is essentially a metaphor for your journey, right?
That's true. So you're telling me school sucks?
I mean, I'm telling you, it wasn't in vain, because eventually you learned something.
Eventually. So why couldn't I have just skipped that semester and just started here?
A degree.
Oh, fuck it.
All about that paper.
That paper. Get that paper. Okay, and I think these are from Imagination. I did feel myself drawing differently now. Yeah, I think these were more or less from Imagination. Also, new hair, working on it.
No, thank you.
You're not into that?
No.
That's like the skater dude hair of the late 90s. So this is something else I tried to do, and I go into a bit more depth and summarize it a bit better in my other video. Link it in the description. Always plug. But I tried drawing heads from different angles, right? It's kind of like a thing you just should be able to do if you're into like figures. But it's hard to like rotate this imaginary head in your mind.
Do you think it would help if you had like a doll?
Yeah, it would. It would. But eventually what I started doing is I just kind of broke all the difficult head angles into like just 5 head angles. So with all these like extreme angles, I just said, fuck it, I'll pick 5 of them and I'll just find reference, and I just brought them into Photoshop and I started like measuring out distance from here to here, from here to here to here, from here to here to here to here, right? And I found out little stuff that worked for me for the time being, which is stuff like the brow line, you know, of a downward tilting head at this angle is essentially the bottom half of the circle of your first lay-in, and other patterns like, you know, which is about and then the nose basically is almost tangent to the lips at this angle, blah 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 blah. And the point is, like, if I tell you this stuff, it doesn't matter. You have to figure it out for yourself, and you'll remember it way better if you spend the effort to figure it out for yourself.
So you think like this is a really important step?
Yeah, for me it was pretty important. It's a bit of a milestone having to work for these measurements, to figure out these proportions for myself, rather than just having it like spoon fed to me in a book or by
Well, they're gonna
an
stick
instructor.
with you a lot stronger,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure. For sure. Shout out to Sasuke, what's up?
You pass me that knife.
Okay. Just stab me for my Naruto. One too many Naruto arts. What's going on here? Looks like I'm just trying to have fun again with the pencil. Great book, by the way, Fun with a Pencil. Shout out to Andrew Loomis. Looking at, I think I was going through Ron Lemon DVD, looking at just the construction of the face. By the way, if you're trying to draw from like imagination and stuff, like that's what you want to focus on. You want to focus on like kind of in constructive drawing, not just like anatomy, because then you'll spend all day like learning about like long like muscle names and not like the practical application of.
So you're
the
in your
forms.
mind, what is constructive drawing?
Constructive drawing is like the mannequinizing thing I talked about earlier, which is like because everyone draws differently.
Oh, like constructive in the terms of building, not
Yeah,
critique.
building blocks.
Okay.
Yeah, building blocks. Yeah, and that's the same thing with the face, right? Is like the face at different angles will find a way to break it down into building blocks that work for you. And they don't have to be literal building blocks. They can be blocks. They can be like circles. They can be just a series of angles. And everyone draws differently. Everyone has a different style. So like, find out what works for you. But don't neglect fundamentals. Yeah, going back to studying. Almost done. More logos. Don't look at that. What's going on here?
These all look like a 12-year-old's wet dream.
Ouch. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Like, no.
Okay, good thing we skipped. Oh, bringing back the gestures, I see. Yeah. Trying some stuff from imagination again after the kind of that little stint there of doing.
You see, in my mind, this
Studies
is
over
where
studies.
I saw your work, like, grow a lot.
Really?
It was, like, the page, like, this page and, like, all of these afterwards.
Oh, really?
Is you spend, like, so much more time with detail.
Really? With like, okay, interesting.
That's your response? Fuck
Like,
you. Like,
like-
what do you want me to say?
Like detail with like my drawings.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, I think my biggest problem is I don't ever treat like a drawing as like a finished piece. I treat it as just a drawing and a practice. Right? And what I treat as the more finished pieces is like paintings, like full on paintings. Are you okay? Are you okay?
This sounds like a conversation.
I know. But I'm saying that that's what I'm doing. That's the problem. I'm saying that is what the problem is. But I think, but then the weird thing is, I look at my Pinterest and I look at the art that I love looking at, and a majority of them are just line drawings with flat colors.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hell yeah, I love this. I love this shit. And I'd rather.
But you need to keep in mind too that that's like aesthetic right now.
Yeah, that's right.
So like you're drawn to style and you're drawn to like what's popular.
Wow. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, and I think that might be a pitfall too, like, is that it is a trend for the time being, like.
But trends
You know
are
what I mean?
normally good for like a decent amount, like enough time to like make money off
Enough
of
to
them.
get paid, yeah, so you can
Yeah.
quit your day job and actually just like have the luxury of being able to study and get better. Yeah, totally. I like this guy. This guy turned out well for some reason. This dude.
Very defined.
Very, yeah.
Very
hair.
Bara daddy.
Hell yeah. What's going on? Here we got another sad boy in profile. Hit him up. More studies. More studies. Trying to reaffirm some of my old stuff with the heads because I kind of forgot, and you will forget, but it comes back way faster. Let's see. More poses. This is where I started using just like a pencil crayon, like a black pencil crayon. Actually was a lot of fun. Again, just because the stroke is so fat, you kind of have to just disregard detail and think in very general means.
Is that Harley Quinn?
Where? This girl?
Yeah.
Oh god. I don't know. That's one thing about me. You won't catch me with Harley Quinn fan art yet.
Like, where's the line?
Where's the honor?
Yeah.
The honor?
How deep do you go?
Where do I draw the line?
Yeah.
Oh man. There is no line. Just get paid.
I mean,
Yeah, this is really helpful to, like, this is maybe like my third time, like, this is actually my second time redoing this video, my third time probably going through my book page by page, and it just gets like, it's weird. I don't want to say it gets better and better because it just makes me cringe more and more, but I learn more and more, so in that sense it's getting better and better for me to do this. Like, I find something new every time I look through it. I find like another like little thing that I was doing that I'd like to keep on doing, or something that...
well, that like revision is really important.
Yeah. This is kind of fun. I kind of did a few like more original characters, like this dude and this dude. This guy's pretty cool with his sword. But like I said before, I still think the most interesting stuff is that Seven Sins project, just because I actually went through with it and took it a bit further and iterated on it a bit more. I don't think I'll ever show anyone the final though, because they're like really, really bad 3D sculpts, like really, really bad.
But you also
So,
didn't
sorry.
have like enough time to make them good.
No, we did it in like the last week. All we did was like, we're just like, guys, let's just like brainstorm and have fun. And then on the last week, we just...
You have a really long...
Is it long hair on my foot? I could get it after.
The light just hit it. And I was
Oh,
like,
shit.
holy shit, that's long.
Going back to the pen. Doing a bit more studying. Just doing a bit more drawing from imagination. Nice. And I think just you could just study, like do studies all day, but like you'll go crazy and I think it will hurt you if you just do it nonstop because you'll start forgetting about why you're drawing in the first place, right? And like you're drawing because you want to draw for yourself. But when you're studying, sometimes you're locked onto these other priorities. Sometimes you forget that this, you know, in a roundabout way will affect your personal work. It's just sometimes hard to make that connection with something as focused as like the focus you need when you're studying drawing.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
I mean, sure.
Cool. And again, I think I elaborated a bit better on my other video because I actually wrote things out and I scripted it, and hopefully it'll save some people time. For people who have like an extra hour or who are just interested in seeing someone's book, this is this is like that for them. And I'm that kind of person. I love watching like Cynics' sketchbook tours and like Almodóvar's. It's really cool for me. Some, I think these are from Imagination. No, they're not. I think I was using a program for this. Let's see, this one too. Almost there. Cool. I think this is when I was taking, it was a New Masters Academy quick little class. It's like an hour and a half long with Danny Galliote. And his whole thing, I swear this is his stuff. I think this is his stuff at least. But his whole thing is to like just really feel the form. It's like it's the one about the quick sketch. I don't know the exact title, but it's all about finding the rhythms of the figure, and he does such a great job. You watch this guy draw and you draw along with him, you'll go back drawing your own figures just like in a completely different way. It's really great. Highly recommend. Here we go. Some more studies. Wow, and that's the last page. Cool. Alright, you ready for the grand finale?
There's a grand finale?
Grand finale is this. Bet you didn't know all Moleskine books have a secret pocket. There you go. That's the grand finale for you.
Great.
Alright, closing thoughts. Brittany, who's forced
Not
to sit
really.
through that entire thing. I don't know. I think a lot of art people are just like really stubborn. Even as much as I try not to be stubborn, I think I am still very stubborn.
You're like incredibly stubborn.
Yeah. But as much as I do like hearing other people's opinion, you know, like good or bad, I think that like at the end of the day, I still will just more or less do whatever I want. Which is kind of like, which is kind of like bad. Because it's what keeps me going, right? Because it's so easy to get discouraged in art, and you have to find a good balance between doing between weighing the opinions of people you trust and weighing the opinions of your heart. Stupid as that sounds, but that's just like, that's the nature of the beast, I think. I don't think any other thing. I've tried a lot of different things in my life. I've tried film. I've tried like editing. I wrote this like documentary one time. I've tried like powerlifting, but But like none of that stuff is as hard as art. Like none of that stuff like ground me as hard as art. But I think that's one of the benefits of like even attempting art is that you get a context for everything else in this world and the kind of learning curve for everything else in this world, and you have a lot of faith in yourself. Like if I can do art, I can commit to anything else. Well, where was I going with that? Yeah, and this is just me drawing. I tried to keep most of my drawings in here. This is just me drawing for like I said, 6 months, and I would say I drew almost every day, but not almost every day, but definitely not every day. And I wish that we could approach drawing the same way that we approach maths and sciences, and like literally anything else, and it just blows my mind, and I'm completely guilty of this. This is why I'm calling it out. It's like a lot of us don't approach drawing, we don't approach programming or training in drawing the same way we approach, say, like a curriculum in math or a curriculum in science. And that makes perfect sense, because a curriculum in science, for example, a post-secondary education in science is literally, and which I have been through part way, is literally just spoon-fed to you. The curriculum is written out, it's all in the syllabus, the textbooks make sense, the textbooks present information to you in a logical order with quizzes along the way to reaffirm, with unit summaries at the end and unit tests in the book at the end with a glossary and appendix and blah 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 blah. And that kind of manual just like isn't there for art for some reason. For anywhere that's beyond like kind of the classical art training or the atelier method, which is, even as a student with the internet, is still kind of obscure and difficult to find enough as it is, like the proper step-by-step process of first do this, then do this, then do this. So I really hope that we can all kind of just take a step back from how we're doing art and think about how we're approaching doing our art, if that makes any sense. Because it's really, really sad. To me, it's really, really sad, and it's really, really frustrating that there's so many like creative people with creative ideas who want to express it through a visual means, through art or comics or design or illustration or painting, and they kind of can't, because this like kind of method of training has kind of been lost in the wind, where only the very few who are kind of almost, dare I say, anomalies make it through to an industry standard, whereas the training in science or engineering or medicine can take an average person and bring them to an industry standard no problem. And that blows my mind. It's incredible that these other faculties and programs can do that for their students, and somehow with art, for the most part, it fails the student. How do I end this on a optimistic note?
I don't know.
How do I end this with a positive takeaway?
Anytime we talk about school, it just becomes like super pessimistic.
You just what?
Like so pessimistic. You're like, why do we live?
Where's the positive takeaway? What was the positive takeaway from all this?
I really don't know. Don't kill yourself. There's hope out there, probably.
Probably. Maybe, and I fell asleep through most of art history, and maybe the best time to learn art was like way back in the days of the real ateliers and the master apprentice system. And then it got kind of like worse. And maybe now it's like,
I'm sure it was worse back then too.
Yeah, I mean, you die really young, and women don't have rights and stuff. But maybe now, because we have the internet and because people are sharing information, we can connect to each other on YouTube and on the Twitters and things, maybe now is like the second best time to be learning art, right? So back in the days of the masters and the mentorships programs and the apprentices, that was more or less an ideal situation to be learning art, and then it kind of went away. But now it's kind of coming back in a different means, where by not everyone has the master apprentice system, but instead we are all sharing information. Wow, what a long video. Well, thank you so much for indulging my rant there, especially at the end. If there's something else that you think I might have missed in examining my own work, please write it down below. Let's get a discussion going, because I know there's stuff that I definitely overlooked here. But yeah, if you thought this was helpful, give it a like, and really help me out if you subscribed. And also don't forget, I've summarized all these points in a video I've made that's much more digestible, called what to learn from 6 months of drawing wrong. So I'll provide a link for that there, and you can check that out if it interests you. Thanks.